Hey, welcome back to Cooking with Granmommy. Remember, at Granmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody's welcome. And today in Granmommy's kitchen, we are going to be working on another spring-summer salad that makes a meal. So whether you want to cook or it's too warm and you'd rather not cook, you can throw these together without heating up the house. Doesn't that sound great? So let's get started. Alright, so today it's going to be a spinach chicken salad. And you can make it a no-cook, but if you want to cook your chicken, you can do that. I'm going to kind of go through the steps with you and show you what that looks like. This makes a really nice big salad. This is enough to feed 8 to 10 people, so this could be an entire meal. So I have in this bowl already, I have chopped up the spinach. I added some romaine with mine. I like to give it a little extra crunch. I have green grapes. I have artichokes, green onions, cucumbers, and I'm going to be adding in some pasta and some chicken and showing you how to make the dressing. But you can see already, even without the pasta, it's a nice big bowl full of crispy greens, crunchy grapes, really tasty. So when you make this, I went ahead and cooked my pasta, but if you don't want to cook it, the little envelopes of pre-cooked pasta that you just stick in the microwave, that's exactly enough for this salad. If you're going to buy a box and cook it, then cook about half the box. You want 2 cups. So mine has been cooked and I'm just going to dump it in here. Now, when you are adding the chicken, you can use a can, just drain the water off. You would need more than 1 can. It calls for a total of 5 cups of chicken. But if you don't want to cook, buy the cans. You can get these at Kroger. You can get them at Costco. Just drain the water off. They usually don't even need chopping. But if the chunks are too big, you could chop those. If you don't want to cook, you could buy a rotisserie chicken. And actually, I have noticed recently that Kroger is selling just the chicken meat. If they have leftover chickens, they're cutting the meat off, and they have little containers over on that deli side where you can just pick up the chicken already cut. So that's pretty simple, and you don't have to cook. But if you don't mind cooking a little bit, you can take chicken breasts and just saute them about 10 minutes on each side, a little salt and pepper, and chop those up. So you have choices as to whether you want to do a little bit of the cooking or none at all. What I want to do today is show you how to take a whole chicken and how to start cutting it up, because sometimes it's like, what do I do with this thing? Alright, so we're going to take the whole chicken and put it over on the cutting board. I'm going to keep this nearby to throw the bones and things in. Now, listen, all the years ago when I started cooking, there was no such thing as boneless chicken breast. There was no such thing as boneless chicken. So even just a cooked chicken, if I was going to fry it or whatever, I had to cut up my chicken. And I did that for years with really bad knives. So remember, one of the best things you can put in your kitchen are good sharp knives, so make sure you do that. So I'm going to show you how to start working with a whole chicken. Now this one smells so good because it's got all those rotisserie spices on it. But the first thing you want to do is just tear off this leg portion. See how easily that comes off? You got your thigh and your drumstick on there. Then I'm going to pull the wing off. Save the wing just to munch on later because that's some pretty tasty tender chicken right there. It's not enough to be chopping it off to put in the salad. And what I'm working down to is getting to the breast meat. We're going to start with that. So now I'm going over to the other side and just pull off the thigh and the leg and pull off the wing. Usually about this time in anything I'm doing with the chicken, Miss Sugar comes trotting in the kitchen because she can smell it. And she does get a little handout here and now, I confess. So now we're down to just having the breast. I'm going to turn this over, pull off the back, take all these bones off. Now the back is going to have some white meat in there. You can see it. And it doesn't need any use of a knife. It will just come right off. I'm going to throw these in my measuring cup to keep track of what I have here. And it's tender enough here that all you have to do is just pull it off and throw it in. Now, I'm going to turn it back over and get over to the side where the breast meat is. And I'm going to leave the chicken on. You could, or the skin. You could take it off, but man, it's got a lot of flavor in it. So I'm just going to start slicing down the side of the breast. See how it comes off in nice slices? Cut all the way through, so you get the chicken skin as well. See this here, I picked up some of the bones, so just pull those off. But see, when you've pulled these pieces off, now you've got a good solid piece to work with. It's not going to be slipping around on the cutting board when you have this knife in your hand. So I just will keep slicing and adding it to my stack. And listen, if you were serving this for dinner, this is the same way you would want to slice it up and put it on your platter for lunch or dinner. So I have half of the breast over here sliced up. Now I'm just going to slice it in half. And then I'll cut it into bite-sized pieces. Alright, so I have the white meat, both of the chicken breasts cut up. And I'm going to need a little more, so I'm going to work with some of the dark meat here. So I have the drumstick and the thigh. So I'm going to take this and just break it apart. And I'm going to start with this. This is a nice large piece of meat. This is just a tough piece on the bottom. I'm going to take that off. And basically what I'm doing here is just pulling the actual meat off of the bony area, so I can just go through and chop the chicken. There's a little bit in here of nice tender pieces that I won't need a knife for. Just throw those in there. Put your bones over here. And now there's one little bone in here, and it will come right out because this is cooked so tenderly. So I will pull this bone out. And now I can chop up this piece. Ooh, this is going to add so much flavor to this spinach salad. Yum. The chicken that's cooked on the bone, you know, is a whole lot more flavorful. And it's also a lot healthier because the healthiest part comes from the marrow in the bones. You know, the old, what would we call it? You know how they always say chicken noodle soup is good if you have a cold? And the reason it's so healthy is because back in the day, when the grandmothers made chicken soup, they used the entire chicken. So the bone broth, the marrow, came out of the bones into the bone broth of the soup. And that's what made it so healthy for people when they were sick. So it's the same thing with this. When you have the actually the bones, the chicken is cooked on the bone, it's a lot healthier and a lot juicier. Okay, now I'm going to take the drumstick here and I'm going to peel all the meat off of the bone, and then I'll chop up the pieces that need to be chopped. I remember when my grandkids were little. Miss Olivia is now 28, and when I would make fried chicken on Sunday dinner, and she was just starting to talk and make up words, she called my fried chicken chicken on a bone, because other than that, the chicken she ate was chicken nuggets and there were no bones in it. And we just thought, well, that's so cute, why is she saying that? And then we realized it's because the chicken that they make for kids doesn't have any bones in it. So this is chicken on a bone. Lots of flavor and lots of nutrition. All right, there we go. I am going to clean up my hands and I'll be right back with you, and we'll make a dressing and put this salad all together. All right, so chicken is cut up. In this bowl I have spinach, I have romaine, I have cucumbers, I have a cup of snow peas, by the way. Chop those up. I have celery, I have my pasta, I have marinated artichokes and cucumbers and green onions. Already, doesn't that sound great? Now, I'm going to dress it and then throw in the chicken. So here is the dressing. I have got 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley chopped up. And I'm going to add a half a cup of oil. It calls for vegetable oil. I usually use olive oil for everything, so I'm going to put olive oil in here. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. I have a teaspoon of salt and I have a teaspoon of dehydrated onion. 2 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And to give it a little bit of a summer flavor, a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now remember, a lot of recipes you don't have to put absolutely everything in that's called for. If you don't like dehydrated onions or you don't keep them in your pantry, skip it. If you don't have fresh parsley, use dried parsley. I mean, there's a lot of easy things to switch over, so don't be concerned about not having every detail that's called for. So I'm going to whisk this up together. And you know, the green grapes that I have in there, I've cut those in half so that grape juice adds some flavor too when we pour all this together. This is a pretty nice thick dressing, and it's smelling really good with the fresh lemon juice and the chopped parsley. Yum. All right, have that stirred up. Now I'm going to add it in. You know, the best part about doing this little video is when I get done, Kendra and I get to eat lunch. All right, stir everything up together, turning over all the different things in the bottom of this bowl. Can you see how yummy it's looking and crispy? As a matter of fact, this could be a great salad without chicken. Just good and healthy and crunchy. All right, let's pour the chicken in last. Oh, come on, get out of there. No hiding. Ooh! That rotisserie spiced chicken with this dressing. Oh my goodness. This is smelling great. All right, I believe that we have done it. Look at this beauty. Look at that. Does it make you hungry? Yep. Give it a try. You'll like it. Oh, it smells so good. So, chicken spinach salad. You can cook or you don't have to cook. You can buy your pasta and cook it yourself, or buy the pouch because the pouch is just enough for this recipe. You can make your chicken yourself. You can buy a rotisserie or buy it in the can. So you have choices. What you have time to do, and whether you want to heat up the kitchen in the summertime or just make it simple. Remember, this is a large salad. This will feed 8 to 10. I thank you for joining me. Listen, don't forget to like and share. We want other people to know about all the good recipes and about the good times at Grandmommy's house, because at Grandmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody is welcome. Thank you for being here today. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.